don't even funny. Save me now. Please save me.
Oh, hello, Papa.
What? Oh, hey. Oh.
Fair dawning, friends. Welcome back to another video. Welcome if you are new. New pupils, I see you. Today we are going to be doing my May TBR. This year, TBR, the way that it works is I have a have to read set TBR that will include one of my Kindle books I picked from a jar and one of my 12 books, 12 prompts picks. They have to be read. No questions, no qualms, no if buts or maybes. They have to be read in the months that they are picked, and that forms the base set of my TBR. I then have readathons and buddy reads that I want to take part in. I will pick and choose which and how many of those books have to be read and how many I want as a tentative one to get to. If you have followed me for any length of time, you will know that April was time. It was a time, and I'm still not at the end of that time. However, I feel like I just took on too much because I got carried away in the moment, just veered off TBR totally, and for that reason I am going to take a punishment. But this is going to be the last month that I take a punishment, because I've spoken with a couple of friends and I know that TBR games are supposed to be fun and it's fun to take a punishment, but generally the people that do that have smaller TBRs than the ones I have. And if I pick up punishments like having to carry a book over, and it just gets me behind, then I get in a rut of getting behind, my brain overloads, and then I just stop reading everything. And I don't want to do that, so I'm still going to stick to my jars. I'm going to continue to do my one Kindle pick and my 12 books, 12 prompts pick. And as I said in my previous videos, 12 books, 12 prompts is where my friends, I did a video part of my Vlogmas, I will leave it linked up here down below, and 12 of my friends picked a book off my Goodreads wish list of my Goodreads want to read, and they picked a prompt, any prompt. They could have been as harsh or as kind as they wanted to be, and they I have put them on slips of paper, put them in a nice little jar, and I pick one each month. So we've already had Ro, we've had Becca, we've had Chloe, and we've had Liam. I'm gonna pray that I don't get one of my chunky books, because I'm already suffering. I'm not suffering through Priory because I'm enjoying it, but I don't need another chunky book, because you'll see what the rest of my TBR is like in a minute. So we are gonna pick a slip of paper, and this one, oh my god, it's not one that I currently own, but okay, so it was Liv, and she picked, the book was Shadows Between Us, and the prompt was a Mulan retelling. And if I remember rightly, she specifically picked a prompt as a Mulan retelling because she wanted me to pick Spin the Dawn or Six Crimson Cranes, one of them. I need to double check which one she wanted me to pick, but it was either Spin the Dawn or Six Crimson Cranes that she wanted me to pick. I think it's Spin the Dawn, isn't it? Yeah, so bear with me 1 second. It's literally just on my shelf there. I'm going to go grab it. 1 sec. Yes, this is the book. So this is the amazing, stunning special editions that were curated by the wonderful humans at Fairy Loot. Look at the stunningness on that book. So I purchased this blindly. I saw how pretty it was, and despite me being very dark in my aesthetic of what I wear, this type of pastel, purpley pinky aesthetic really appeals to me, just not in clothing. in things, and I just couldn't help but purchase it. And so this follows a girl who was always dreamed to be a tailor, and I think her brother dies, father dies, somebody dies, or is unavailable, and she has to take their place as a tailor. And that's how that goes. That's very badly broken down, but it is what it is. It's this. I'm going to be reading this, and I'm so glad this is not a chunky book. It's YA fantasy. I can speed through YA fantasy in one sitting if it's good enough. So let's just, I haven't thrown that randomly. That's on my bed. My bed is just there, so don't worry. But yes, I'm really excited about this. And then the book that she picked, I'm going to put a picture up here because I don't currently have it, is Shadows Between Us by somebody, I forget the name. And this is one of Liv's favourite books. I think she's reread it recently as well, or rereading it. But, you know, Liv, does she read? We don't know. And yes, Liv, I'm calling you out in my TBR video. What are you going to do about it? You can't do much, can you? I'm really happy about that. Really excited. And May's also Liv's birthday month. I swear to God, this is not planned. I picked Liam in his birthday month, and I've picked Liv in her birthday month. And as you saw, there was no editing or cuts there. I did not see that come in. So, okay, Kindle time. I am going to be really annoyed if this Kindle does not work out. I think I have DNF'd. I've DNF'd 3 out of the 4 Kindle books I picked. I started one but haven't finished it. I haven't continued it yet. That was Threat of Shadows by J.A. Andrews. I'm still very interested in that, but again, I did this stupid thing like carrying over books, punishing myself for not finishing books, and then because I've thought of it as a punishment carrying over, I've not finished it. I've not got back to it. So I need to stop that. So in we go for the Kindle book. And a lot of these books, I will admit, that were added in like 2016 when I used to write my own blog and used to do a lot of reviews for indie authors. So some of these books may not be published anymore, and also may not be all that good. But what even is this? What is this? I really need to rejig my whole Kindle thing, because I'm getting books that I don't even remember putting on my Kindle. It's this. Why is it not? There we go. Gentry by T.S. Joyce. I can't remember who this author is. I can't remember who this book is. What this book is. Save me now. Please save me. If I find it somewhere, if it's still available to be read at all, to the wider public, I will put it up here. We'll see what we see. It could be something that I really adore and is a 5-star, but it's not boding well thus far. But I'm going to pick a punishment because this is the last month I'm picking punishments. So let's pick this punishment and see what it says. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Holy fucking shirt balls. You probably can't read that because my handwriting is absolutely abysmal. But thank you, Liam. You absolutely amazing human being. Toss a coin. Heads. I have to read a book under 300 pages. And tails, I have to read a book over 600 pages. Yay for me. However, I do have 2 books out. Right, okay, that's fine. But do I have any under? I don't have any under 300. Okay, no. Right, okay, that's fine. I've just realised that's going to work out fine because looking at my TBR, 2 of the books are over 600. I was worried then because I thought they only went to about 500 pages, but I've just realised it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'm fine, it's fine. I'm okay. Anyway, so 2 readathons I am partaking in this month actively, and 1 tentatively. Actively partaking in, you guessed it, Royal Readathon Made Round, the couples round. This is run by 2 of my best friends, Becca and Liv. Channels will be linked down below. You will already know if you've watched any of my lives or any of my videos, you will know who these lovely women are. I'm so excited. to take part in this readathon. The readathon that I'm taking part in is Witchathon, that was created by the lovely Sam over at Yarn Read. I will leave her links down below. We've started to get chatting more now, and as soon as I saw this, again, if you know me, if you know my vibe, hi Lisa, I'm a Wiccan. Witchiness is just my vibe. Like anything witchy related, and I mean anything witchy related, just give it me. If I could pull off, you know, the really dark grey hair and, you know, that aesthetic, like full goth aesthetic, I would totally be there. But I couldn't pull it off because I would look like an idiot. But anyway, that's that on that. I'm also tentatively, possibly, maybe taking part in Bookathon, 48-hour readathon. But it depends on whether I'm over in Huddersfield or in Halifax with family. It will totally depend on my physical situation as to whether or not I can take part, because I'm not going to take part in a 4-hour readathon if I'm at my family's house. There's no point. It's absolutely waste of time. But I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to tell you what books I'm reading. And I have my notebook. I have a notebook. And yes, I've bent it, but it's just a notebook. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this TBR and for the plans of May. First off, I'm going to put this on here, but I am wanting to finish this week. So I'm currently filming this really late, at the 27th, and I am this far away from the end. You'll see. This is a buddy read with the lovely Chelsea, and also keep an eye out for an announcement coming in, starting in June. I am buddy reading this with her and I am loving it so far. Still not sure if it's going to be 4 or 5 stars. I think my gut feeling says 4, but obviously I put everything through Corpile. What Corpile says goes. So this is so far so good. I read all this way faster than I expected to. Like, I give my physical reading ability, I underestimate myself sometimes. I didn't think I was going to get through this. And look at the writing. Look at the writing. But this follows, oh my god, a multi-perspective book. And I'm not going to go into, I'm actually, scrap that. I'm not going to tell you right now what this follows, what happens, what's going on. Because I'm going to do that in my wrap-up. Whether it's a May wrap-up or April wrap-up. Whichever month I finish this in, I will tell you all about the ins and outs of this high fantasy, just god tier. So, Royal Readathon. We have Mulan and Shang, LGBTQ plus rep. I know I mentioned I wanted to read this in April, but this was, I want to get to it. It wasn't on my TBR, it was tentative. And I really want to just sit with this book when I read it. I don't have to rush it just to finish a book, to finish, you know, to get through it. This is the 4th in the Fortuna Swan series. And if you do not know who KJ Sutton is right now, have you watched any of my videos? Where have you been? Where have you been? She is an indie author that I was introduced to when I started watching Becca and the Books and Ashley, and they started reading the series. I got the first book and I was immediately hooked. And she has just released the cover of Endless Terrors, and oh my Jesus, if I can find it, I'm going to put it right here for you. It is stunning. She's just, her writing style, her character development, her plot, her just the interaction and the chemistry between the characters. When they say enemies to lovers or rivals to lovers, when you want angst between characters in a dark, this is grim dark. I'm gonna say it, maybe not grim dark, but it is dark. It can be grim at times, not gonna lie. Also, trigger warnings, look up the trigger warnings for this, but KJ Sutton always puts trigger warnings in the front of the book. But I would definitely look up the trigger warnings for this. But if the trigger warnings for this and content warnings don't bother you, and you are happy to continue reading despite that, and it's not something that affects you, please, I implore you, please read these books. Get the physical book, support an indie author, pay that coin. She is worth it. I am telling you right now, she is worth it. And I haven't even told you why this is LGBTQ. The main character, Fortuna Swan, is bisexual, as confirmed by the author. So, Ariel and Eric, Sailors and Mermaids. Boop, 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 boop. I read It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. this month, and my god did she pull me in, and I was hooked. But therefore, this month, in the month of May, I am reading Hook, Line and Sinker, which is the companion to It Happened One Summer, and I am buddy reading this with Tori. If you don't know who Tori is, I'll link her Instagram and Twitter down below. I met her through Rose's Patreon. She's an absolute bean. I'm so excited. Much wow. Just, this is probably gonna, this is gonna be read in the first week of the month. The first week of the month. This is getting read. I just can't contain myself. It's happening. Next up we have Aurora and Prince Philip, which is Secret of Forbidden Love. Now, I was struggling with this because I don't have many books that have Secret of Forbidden Love, and if I do have them, I've already read them. So, my very good friend Liv is unhauling a few books, and I watched Becca's recommendations video. Again, I will link the Royal Readathon announcements and recommendation videos down below. She's recommended A State of Sorrow as something with has Secret of Forbidden Love in, and if Livy can send me the books in May, I will be reading State of Sorrow. If not, I will have to have a look at one of her other recommendations and see if I can fit that in. That's going to be a wing it one, but these are all prompts I need to fulfill. So, there we go. Next up, we have Belle and the Beast. Initially, I was going to use the same book that I'm using for another prompt, but I, again, rewatched Becca's recommendations video, and I found this. And yes, I am also on a romance kick. My taste is just so eclectic. One day I'll pick up a contemporary, the other day I'll pick up a high fantasy like Ilborn, the other day it's YA fantasy. I'm kind of going off YA contemporary, which I feel like, yeah, you'll know why if you watch my wrap up for April. But this seems like it'll be right on my alley. They're literally forced to share a flat, so I'm down for this. And I'm also doing a vlog where I read strictly romances, so this is going to go in that vlog, you betcha, and I will give you my full thoughts, feelings and opinions when I read it. Oh, Rapunzel and Flynn, a book with adventure. So again, you'll probably hear me mention this name quite a lot until y'all read it. This author is so good. Ryan Cahill of Darkness and Light. This is going to be a book with an adventure. This is the second book in the series, but there was like a 0.5, there was the 4, which is a novella. There's a bit of debate about the reading order of this, but I read the 4 first, and then I read Blood and Fire. Second book is of Darkness and Light, and the next novella is out in May, I think. And if the novella comes out in May, I'll be reading that as well, and that's Exile. I'll put both pictures up here because I don't have the physical books yet. I know I'm speaking so fast, but I'm really excited about this author. I'm excited about the book. I'm excited about where it's taken me on a journey. It's adult fantasy. There's no smut in this adult fantasy. If you like adult fantasy, you like dragons and magic and war and politics and just an amazing writing style that makes you love the characters but can also break your heart. And I had to put this book down and take a breath. That is how much it affected me, and I am not exaggerating, and I'm not joking, and I'm not being paid by these books are purchased with my own money. These were not gifted, and this is not a swayed opinion at all. This is just my unbiased, full throttle excited opinion of a book and an author. It gives me very John Green vibes, so you know how much I love John Green, and he just gives me, Ryan doth give me John Green vibes, and I'm absolutely here for it. Just read of Blood and Fire and then tell me how much you love it, is all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Tiana and Naveen, Enemies to Lovers. This is a stretch because I need to get this book in, and I don't want to add another chunky book to my TBR. So I'm choosing this as Enemies to Lovers because initially don't really like each other. Well, she doesn't really like him, and it takes a while to warm to him. Although she's a nightmare, obviously we all know what Fae are usually deemed to be, like mischievous, tricksters, not trustworthy. So she doesn't trust him. She feels like, you could also use this for forced proximity because she's literally forced to marry him in order to get her brother back. That's not a spoiler, that's in the blurb of the first book. And yeah, so I'm going to have this as my Tiana and Naveen, so that I can get 2 birds with 1 stone. Do you know what I mean? So Cinderella and Prince Charming. I have been coaxed into reading The Love Hypothesis again. Yes, I know. I have a problem with adding books to my TBR. And do I already have a plethora, use that word again, plethora of books that I could use for this prompt? Yes. Am I rereading Love Hypothesis? Also yes. I love this book. This was 5 stars for me. Don't love it as much as Becca. Not much else to say really, but this. And then for Anna and Christoph, I'm also using Hook, Line and Sinker, which is a book that makes you laugh. I think this book will make me laugh if the first one is anything to go by, because my god, did I barely laugh at that. The characters are just the best. I've just realised when looking through my books, another book that I'm also buddy reading with Tori, and we're going to be buddy reading it live on Thursday, the 6th of, is it the 6th? Or is it the 5th? Thursday the 5th of May, me and Tori are going to be buddy reading, spoiler alert, and I think this is a secret love as well. I think she's put this for secret love, I think. But we are buddy reading this. So this is another book on my TBR anyway, and yes, it's another contemporary book. There's a theme. If I can't get State of Sorrow in time, which I don't think I will because I'm reading this on the 5th, scrap that. State of Sorrow can be read another time. I'll read this for my secret love prompt. Okay, now we move on to Witchathon, and you only need 50 points. I will leave Sam's announcement video linked down below. She explains everything to a T perfectly. So you choose what witch you want to be, the spells and the items. I'm so excited for all this. So I have once again gone all out for this. However, I do have a crossover of some of the books, so don't at me. And also, these are not all chunky. Okay. So if you want to be an elemental witch to get 10 points, you need a book which has north, south, east or west in the title, and I have Cold from the North. And then the other prompt for this one is a book with elements on the cover, I think. Yeah, so the other prompt for Elemental Witch was a book with elements on the cover. So if I can find a book that fits that, I will try and fit that one as well. But I can get 10 points using this. And you only need, for this round, you only need to get Baby Witch. And to get Baby Witch, you need 50 points. So this is 10 points. And to be a Hedge Witch, you can have a book with a quest, which is 10 points. And this is going to be Of Darkness and Light again, because I'm reading it this month anyway. Also for Hedge Witch, there's a book with paranormal elements to it, and I saw that Becca had read The Reckless Afterlife of Harry Stoker, and I really wanted to read that. I am going to be reading that. I'm going to be getting that on payday, and I will be reading that as well. Kitchen Witch. See, this is because I don't know what witch I want to be. These three appeal to me. Don't at me. I know there's 3 different types of witch here. Don't at me. Kitchen Witch, a book that gives you cozy vibes. Cozy Mystery, Jana DeLeon, Swamp Sniper. Enough said. 3rd in the series, Misfortune series. I'm absolutely loving these cozy mysteries. My vibe. Totally my vibe. The next prompt for Kitchen Witch is a book with recipe in the title or in the book. And have I just read this in March? Yes. Am I rereading it in May? Yes. Because this is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. He's just amazing. It's about this orc who is done with adventuring, and she sets up her own coffee shop in this quiet little town, and it literally says a novel of high fantasy and low stakes. It's not a massive epic high fantasy with war and battles and like death and, you know, breaking your heart. It is just very cozy. I could also use it for cozy vibe, I'm not gonna lie, but it's very cozy. And there's a character in here called Thimble. I want a Thimble in my life. Doesn't talk very much, but some of the stuff that the mum makes me want to just grab my hand into the book and take out those yummy items that he makes. And it's very short, and I've got the audio for this as well. I'm just so excited to reread this. I'm also buddy reading this with Lindsay Jardine. Me and Lindsay have picked a book almost every month now, since about August of last year, to buddy read. We tried to buddy read Jasmine's Throne last month. Didn't work out, both of us DNF'd it. Sorry. But I'm really excited for this. And then we're going on to skill points. So I've got a couple of things to get me some skill points. Skill points, you get 5 points per prompt. So the first one is spellcasting, and it's to choose a witchy book. So I could choose an actual novel for this, but I just thought, give myself a bit of a break, a bit of a chill. I am going to order the graphic novel Witchy, and I'm going to decide whether or not I want to read that. But I do also have a book, a graphic novel, Shadow Service Volume 2, which has witches in it. That's an adult, dark graphic novel series, and I was sent copies by Black Crow PR of the physical books, and they're so pretty, and I'm probably going to use that one as one of the prompts, just to give myself a break from all the novels that I'm reading this month. And then the next one is Scrying, and I'm just going to use Jana Delion for that again, and the Code of Mystery. I'm either going to use Swamp Sniper if you can double up. I think you can double up, but I need to check. And if you can't double up, I'm going to just use the next in the series. They are very short, under 200 pages. And then the items, again, I've not chosen what items I want. I don't know if you can choose multiple, but I don't care. I'm going to read all the books. So the items is a cauldron, and it's a book that has over 300 pages. And if you know what happened to me in the month of March, I read off TBR, and I read 2 books consecutively that were over 600 pages, and I blame Liv fully for this obsession. And it is an obsession with Hudson. That's enough said. I bought this in London when I was down there, and this is one of the books that's chonker. And I'm also being told by some very reliable sources of Liv and Becca that this is going to have me on tenterhooks. So I'm looking forward to this, but I'm also very scared, because there's characters I've become attached to that I adore, that I really don't want to lose, and we've already had some things happen that made me cry in the other books. So I don't need any more tears, because I've also got a Robin Hobb that I want to read this month for tarot deck. There's a book with swords on the cover. And do you remember earlier when I said that there's a certain author that y'all know is one of my favourite authors? His book number 2 in the Blood Sworn series came out in April. So I've just finished Shadow of the Gods, 5 stars, obviously. And I'm now moving on to this. And this is also a chonker of a book. I can't tell you much about this series other than it's just epic, high fantasy, multi-perspective, multiple characters that grip you, and I now feel like John Gwynne is 50% of my personality, and John Gwynne's characters just get me, and I don't know why, I don't know how he does it. I just want to protect all of the good characters in his books, always. He's just chef's kiss. Oh, excite. Much wow. But there are the readathons that I'm taking part in. But wait. That is not the end of my TBR, friends. Do I have issues? Yes. Somebody stop me. No, don't, because I like reading. But I have a couple of buddy reads going on, but I also have books that I just want to get to. Those books I've literally just said to you, those books I've just said to you prior to this point, are books I have to read. I will count my TBR as fully complete and happy with myself if those books are finished, because they are readathon books, and they are my jar picks. But these books are just random buddy reads, but buddy reads books that I also would like to get to as well. I know for a fact I'm going to finish this anyway because I'm buddy reading this with Catherine. But this is all of us villains. And Catherine's been on my sprints once, I think. She's been on a couple of Becca's sprints recently. She's a friend that we've met through Danny. I'm really excited to get to this. And I need to find out when we're buddy reading this. But I don't have any other plans other than reading in May. So, Catherine, if you see this before I speak to you about this, because I'm likely to forget, then please let me know when you want to read this. I'm happy to do whenever you are, but I'm really excited. This is the Abraxas box edition I got when I used to get a Abraxas box that has cool little end papers. Do you know what I've just realised? I've totally missed off 2 books from my have to read, and that is City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. This is the VA along. No, it's not. I'm so tired. City of Souls by Cassandra Clare is the By the Angel along run by Becca from the Becca Fowle. I will leave her link down below. This is the fifth in the series, and this is the last one I'm reading in the Mortal Instruments before I move over to the Infernal Devices in June. And so this is a have to read. This is a have to, because I think I'm on, well, until she tells me not to be, I'm on the live shows for these books. I can't not read this. The other book I have physically, but I don't have physically to hand right now, and I'm not going to get it, is the 5th in the Vampire Academy books, and I can't remember the name. I'm going to put a picture up here. I'm so lame at this. And that's for VA Along run by Liv. I will leave Liv links down below as well, as always. 2 additional books I would like to get to. One is a buddy read with some friends that I met on a Discord, and that is Iron Crown by LL Mccray. Yes, this is upside down. Ignore the fact that the bookmark is hanging at the bottom. But this is a book that's been on my radar a while. I was introduced to this book when Becca started recommending it, and then I saw Dominish Books recommending it. I will leave Dominish I will leave Dom links down below. And there is a Discord channel, Discord server, is they called servers, where they are doing a buddy read of Iron Crown. So I'm joining in that one, apparently, if I can. We shall see, because I don't have a brain. But I also would like to get to the first book in the Rain Wild Chronicles this month. Will it happen? I don't know. I'm not going to hold myself to this, which is why this is on my tentative TBR. Did you think I were done? Did you think I were done? No, I'm not done. So, there are only three other books that I want to get to that I have agreed to put on my May TBR. Is it May TBR? Okay, so one of the first books I'm going to pick up is The Coward by Stephen Ariane. I was sent a copy of this, and it's not an official review, but if I read it before the 9th of May and post my thoughts, there is a possibility of me getting the second book in the series. On the S7 Oasis Twitter, they posted this, and The Coward sounds like something that's right on my alley. I'm really loving fantasy, and I'm finding some really amazing indie authors that are writing some really, really good fantasy, and I'm really excited to get to this. The next one is The Hag of the Hills by JTT Ryder. They reached out to me on Twitter when they must have seen that I was like reading more indie authors and interacting with more indie authors, and I got a message asking if I would like to review a copy of the book. I read the blurb, and again, it seems like something that's right on my alley, and I'm really hoping to get to this as well. The next one is Army of the Curse by Karim Solomon. I will leave it up here as well, and this is book 1 in a series. I have heard good things about this from people that have already read this, that also love the fantasy that I'm really into at the moment. I don't know how many pages any of these books are, so I don't know how big they are because they are all on ebook, but The Coward I'm definitely going to get to at the beginning of the month, and the other 2 I'm going to get to at some point during the month. I know that this seems like a lot because there's 3, 4, there's 17 books here, but listen, I've got no excuse. I'm sorry, there is no literally no excuse for my behaviour, for my reasoning. I don't have a reason for this TBR other than I can't help myself. But then again, my average has been, it was like 16, 14, 16, and this month's got a bit crazy with like 20, but it's been like 16, 14, 16, so 17 books is not, 18 if you include the graphic novel, it's not a lot for what I have been reading. So, and if I can read like 20 books this month, with a couple of them being high fantasy chonkers, then, you know, I can read 18 books in May. It's a day longer than April as well. So, and again, I have no plans other than reading and obviously filming. But there we go. This was an exponentially long video. I do apologise, but I ramble and I make mistakes, and I'm going to have to do lots of edits and cuts on this, but it is what it is. I will see you all when I see you all, which is going to be on the morrow. No, it's not. It's going to be on Monday, maybe, when I post my vlog. If you like... Oh, God, what was that? If you like watching my videos, if you like me in general, I would appreciate you subscribing and liking and commenting down below. I have recently just been, like, it's come to my attention, as was flagged up by a friend. I am close to 500 subscribers. I would love to be 500 by June, because that's the halfway point, because I would love to be 1k by the end of the year, because I would love to start 2023 as a monetized channel, because I just checked as well that I have the watch hours. It's just the subscribers that I'm missing. So if you do like my content and you would like to share me with your friends, that sounds wrong. If you would like to share my videos with your friends and get them to subscribe to, I'd really appreciate it. I don't promote myself all that much. I know, I'm crap, but I would really appreciate any support at all. So thank you for joining, and I will see you all soon. Hope you have a lovely day. Blessed be kind to yourselves, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.